Hi everybody, welcome to episode 2 of our journey through the joys of Runescape 3 Ironman. If you don't remember from last time, we had a 5-minute long exposition dump. We fed a potentially deadly pie to a fat guy who loved it. We poured a potion on a rock because God summoned a giant Wolpertinger, saved a lady from some cultists on our own, set a ghost free, made 40 balls of wool, cooked a birthday cake for a duke, and stole some Yeti dung from a faraway land. I hope I can follow all that up. First thing we're gonna do is help this lady season her goulash. Okay, we have officially stirred Maggie's goulash. There we go, swept away completed. Now, this next part is kind of slow, but you can have 10 bowls of Maggie's goulash, and they give XP based on the level of the skill you put it in. I put mine all into magic and got to level 11. Next up was Ernest the Chicken. It's a pretty funny quest and really easy to do. Plus it gives a nice chunk of change and 4 quest points, so that was definitely worth doing. You know, I'm glad they finally updated Imp Catcher. Helping the 4 little imps with their dumb problems is a lot better than killing a bunch of imps for an hour, waiting for 4 different RNG based drops. It still doesn't give much in way of rewards, but it's a lot better than it used to be. A lot of people complain about how much longer Rune Mysteries is after they redid it, and how it's now 2 separate quests, and granted it is pretty long, but it also looks a lot better. They added a lot of neat visuals, and I'm always appreciative of the quests that Jagex takes the time to voice act. It just makes the whole questing experience a lot more fun, in my opinion. But yeah, I did Rune Mysteries. I haven't done Rune Memories yet, but that's only because I haven't paid for membership yet. But it'll be one of the first quests I do once I do. Next up, I did Stolen Hearts and Diamond in the Rough. This is another series that used to be just one quest, Prince Ali Rescue, but I never had fun doing that quest, and I like the new ones quite a bit. They do a really good job of introducing the characters that they do and showing off the desert region. Plus, they give decent rewards for such beginner quests. After that was Demon Slayer, yet another reworked quest. This one is also pretty cool. You get Silver Light, which eventually becomes Dark Light, which can eventually be upgraded by Gypsy Eris. And at that point, it's a pretty good weapon against demons, despite its low stats, and can even be used to remove the fire shield from a tormented demon. So that's pretty cool. Definitely happy to get this one done. And since I was already in Varrock at this point, I decided to do Shield of Arav, which doesn't even require that you have a partner anymore. So that only took about 2 minutes to do. That was pretty neat. Next up, I went to Taverley to do Death Plateau. This one requires just a little bit of running around the immediate area and only takes a few minutes to do. But after the quest, you can run supplies back and forth to the outpost you helped set up for additional scaling XP as long as you're level 10 combat. This does take longer than the quest itself does, but I'd say it's worthwhile as its rewards are more XP than the quest gives. I spread my XP around to a few different skills to help get my total level up a little bit, and I was glad I did. Hey there guys, I just wanted to take this opportunity to jump in real quick and say thanks for watching. If you're enjoying yourself so far, make sure to like the video, and if you're pumped for episode 3, make sure to subscribe too. I also have all my different social media linked below if you guys need to stay up to date as possible. And I think that's all I had to say, so let's get back to RuneScape. By this point in my adventure, I was admittedly a little tired of questing, and I had a few daily challenges racked up, so I decided to do them. The first one required that I slay 2 monsters above level 15 combat, so I decided to start Slayer. The first assignment that Tyrael always gives any new player is gelatinous abominations, which I was able to do very quickly, of course. But since they weren't level 15, I had to go back for a second task, which ended up being ice fiends. Now, ice fiends are level 35, and they're weak to range, but I'm only level 7 range. So it took me forever just to get the 2 down that I needed for my daily challenge. So I decided to stop right there, and I'll come back and finish the Slayer assignment once I'm a little bit more adequate in the combat department. Doing that challenge did get me 2 free Slayer levels though, so I guess it worked out. Everything's worthwhile, right? The second challenge that I had to do was a lot easier. It was just a handful of laps around the Birthwarp Agility Arena. Including doing the laps themselves, the challenge got me to level 13 Agility, which is pretty nice. Agility levels are always a good thing, especially when you don't have to work very hard for them. The next challenge I had was crafting air runes. This meant that I had to do some rune essence mining, and I guess it's been a while since I've been here because I was surprised when I noticed I was mining 4 essence at a time. I guess this probably came about during the mining and smithing rework, but I'm not really sure. Let me know down below when that changed. Completing that challenge got me all the way to level 10 rune crafting and a challenge bag with 122 pure essence in it. So that was pretty neat. That was definitely worthwhile. That was a good challenge. I've been checking on this free potato patch as many times as I can remember, and this one got me level 2 farming. All for free. I'll be level 99 in no time. And finally, I had to make 10 regular short bows. This took a few minutes of gathering supplies, but I got several crafting and wood cutting levels out of it, plus both wood cutting strange rocks. And handing in the short bows got me level 4 fletching and a challenge bag containing 13 magic logs, which I guess will eventually come in handy. That was a nice little break and all, but it was definitely time to get back to questing. I decided to tackle a Shadow over Ashdale next, which meant it was time for my first ever boss battle. Luckily for me though, it's one that scales to your combat level, so it wasn't all that challenging really. But it was pretty interesting. The boss does have a couple unique mechanics. I won't go into too much detail in case I'm spoiling this beginner quest for anybody, but it's pretty neat. You should definitely do it if you haven't yet. Completing the quest yields a little bit of combat XP, which I'm always thankful for, of course, but more importantly, 3 black pearls, which for now are gonna sit in the bank, but I'm super happy to have. See, they give bonus XP that scales to whatever skill you put it in, which for normal players isn't a big deal, but there isn't very much bonus XP to go around for Ironman, so I'm actually pretty stoked about it. The next quest that I wanted to do was Vampire Slayer, but man, I had no idea I was so underleveled for the Count Draenor fight. This was much harder than the Shadow over Ashdale boss that I just did. I maybe should do Waterfall for the free attack and strength XP, but I kind of want to go through the quest by timeline. Pathfinder first, and then Adventurer, and then I think Champion, and so on. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. But anyway, one eternity and a whole inventory of food later, I was able to bring the vampire down. The quest rewards 4,800-ish combat XP, which I dumped into magic, and it got me from level 20 all the way to 26. So even though it was a pain, this quest was definitely worthwhile. After that, I definitely wanted to do something a little easier, so I decided to do Goblin Diplomacy. It only took a few minutes of walking around to gather all the supplies needed, since I can't just buy the dyes on the Grand Exchange. But once you have everything together, the quest itself is very fast, and it all takes place in the same building, which is nice. It also rewards 5 quest points, which is ridiculous. I have no idea how quest points are allocated. Honestly, it reminds me of whose line is it anyway.
The show where everything's made up and the points don't matter, just like Little League.
Witch's Potion is only considered to be a mini quest these days, but mini quests are on the quest list, so I feel like I have to do them. Plus, it gave me just enough XP to get me another magic level, so worth. So I made a big mistake. It turns out that you can't put higher tier pickaxes on your tool belt like you used to be able to, and I purchased a rune pickaxe to figure this out, which means I blew most of the cast jack that I've been working so hard to build. Turns out you can just smith pickaxes as you level smithing now, so don't make the same mistake I did. But yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of mining and smithing. I actually really like these skills after the rework. I think Jagex did a really good job redesigning these 2 skills. Plus now I have a goal to make a little bit of money, since I have none left. Yeah. The first thing I really wanted to do, though, was craft my very own complete iron set. So that's exactly what I did, all the way down to dual weapons, a shield if I need one, a 2H, and iron tools like the pick and the hatchet. I'm truly ready for anything. I guess you could say I'm really an Iron Man now. And here comes level 30 mining. Mining feels a lot faster after the rework, but I think it's mostly these ore boxes and the idea that you don't have to go to the bank after every single inventory. Really nice touch. And I went ahead and finished my full steel set as well. I can't wield any of this stuff yet, but it'll be nice to have in the future. Plus, I'm just actually really enjoying doing all this mining and smithing. So there we have it, one more set down. And here comes level 30 smithing as well. It's really nice to have these as my 2 highest skills. Feel pretty good about that. And I think I'll have enough to finally get myself back over 10k in the cash stack, so that's nice. Okay, confirmed. We now have 11k in the coin pouch. Feels good. You know, this was a pretty poor pirate if this was his whole treasure. 450 coins, 1 emerald, and a gold ring. Nonetheless, that's pirate's treasure done and over with, and another Pathfinder quest off the list. Alright, it's been a couple more days, time to hand in another handful of daily challenges. I got us a total of 2 total levels on top of the ones we earned finishing the challenges themselves, plus 22 magic logs and a raw rocktail, which it really will be forever before I can use. Plus, I bet money I'm gonna burn it. But I'll hold on to it, of course. No reason not to. You know, Monk's Friend is probably one of my top 10 quests. I know that sounds kind of silly because it's so short and the rewards are mediocre, but actually the rewards are pretty good for an Ironman, especially a new one. Those law runes are awesome. Plus, best dance party in any scene in Runescape. Don't at me. And I think we're going to wrap things up this episode with Haziel Cult, another pretty fast, chill quest with next to no rewards. If you made it all the way through this video with me, don't forget to leave me some feedback by way of hitting that like or dislike button, or leaving me a comment, or both. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button either, that way you'll be notified when episode 3 comes out, when we finally are going to be finishing up all the Pathfinder quests. As always, I appreciate all of you, and have a great day.